Alrighty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever time it is. I want to welcome everyone to another edition of Talking Points. My name is Bari Azman, and I will be one of your co-hosts, and we are together with the one and only
Hi, it's Diane.
Diane Ducharme. Again, welcome everyone to Talking Points. It's great to be here. I missed the platform, as far not missed it. I was here obviously the last session, but I missed the fact that the interaction. I want to just also continue to say thank you to the entire BlindShell community here in North America or wherever you are for the positive response, the continued excitement, and everything that is going on in the world of BlindShell. So it's really phenomenal. I also wanted to do a couple of housekeeping things here as well. We're going to open things up probably sooner than later as far as to have everyone here communicate, ask their questions. Diane will explain the official rules in just a moment, but I want to just stress that you can raise your hand by clicking on the raise your hand button. We will do our best to call on you and to get to you. You can also post, I believe it's in the Q&A or the chat. So if someone is feeling a little shy, they can go ahead and post there. I think the Q&A or the chat, they both should be active, but if one of them is not active, one is active. So I want to point that out. So Diane, you want to share the official guidelines for the participants?
Yeah, so what we ask is that if you come on and you have, say, an issue with your BlindShell, then we will explore the issue, but we would like you to leave with something either positive about your BlindShell or a constructive suggestion about your BlindShell, and vice versa. If you come on and you just want to tell us how much you're enjoying your BlindShell, then we would like to know something that you would consider a good recommendation for the BlindShell.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I also want to talk about here for a brief moment that we recently launched, maybe some of you are not aware, but we recently launched a brand new weekly live stream together with the ACB community. It's on the ACB community platform, and it meets on Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern. That is a weekly live stream that is more in a course-like setting where Diane goes into more of a specific topic and takes a deep dive and to give everyone, if you're a beginner, if you're a super power user, whoever it is, if you're looking to gain additional knowledge, more resources, BlindShell 101 is the place for you to join. 1 p.m. Eastern. I do want to say, because it's hosted on the ACB community platform, you can register on our site on BlindShellUSA.com, BlindShellUSA.com. If you're on a desktop, you can scroll down towards the right 3/4 of the way down on the home page. You will see a link there and description for BlindShell 101. You can register, and then what we do is we then provide your contact information to ACB, because ACB is what's the right word, Diane? Is it secure, or it's a platform that is created in a way where outsiders, I guess, from the site loss community can't just pop in and interrupt as far as the live stream, right? It's done for security purposes. So
exactly, yes.
That's his word. And I also want to stress, which I'm sure Diane's like, yeah, Barry, please make sure you say it. I want to stress that you do not have to be a member for ACB to join the BlindShell 101 live stream initiative. So check it out. I heard it was a very successful launch last week, so thank you, Diane. And
You're welcome.
let's go ahead and jump right in. So,
Well,
Diane,
I have
go
a
ahead.
question, Barry. Do you know when those the recording of 101 is going to be available for people who didn't catch it?
Great question. So just like all of the talking points are stored on our website, blindshell.usa.com, or you can also find them on YouTube as well under the BlindShell USA channel. That is where you can find talking points, previous, obviously, editions.
No, I'm talking about
yeah,
the 101.
right. Yeah. So
Okay.
101 has not been posted just yet. Last week's 101 has not been posted yet. We are awaiting the links from ACB as they control them, and we are, as soon as we have them, we will post them in a similar fashion on our YouTube channel and also on our website. So stay tuned.
Okay, now let's get to the good part.
Yeah, let's get to the good part. So we have some updates that were announced earlier this week, as in yesterday, updates in the sense of bug fixes. So, you know, I know, Diane, we talk about this all the time, right? Where individuals from the BlindShell community, you know, may encounter from time to time a bug. Some of it may be more serious than in others. And, you know, we talk about this, and, you know, I sometimes, you know, there can be a sense of frustration. Well, why can't this be fixed faster? And, you know, we have an incredible team of developers out there who are based in Prague at BlindShell headquarters. And they are working and working, you know, tirelessly working to make sure everything gets addressed and fixed in a timely fashion. Sometimes there are just things beyond our control that certain things take longer to really correct. And so this week, we had a significant amount of bug fixes that were implemented into the new system update. So if you haven't already done so, I'm going to let Diane talk about that and give us specific instructions. If you received a message about a update, a system update, Diane, I'm going to have you walk everyone through that, and we can talk about some. I can go through and we can talk about some of those specific bug fixes specifically in just a moment. So go ahead, Diane.
Okay, so if you received a notification that you have a system update, you would hit the OK button, and then it would say, it would tell you how many, like, I don't know, you have 2 notifications, 1 of 6. So you would hit OK, and then you would go to the system update notification. You would hit OK to open it, and then you would hit OK to, it'll ask you if you want to download it. You would hit OK, and then it will download it. It's a pretty big one, so it'll take a couple of minutes, and then it'll ask you if you want to install it. You would hit OK, and then in about 20 seconds, you'll hear a very, I want to say it, a very scary voice. I don't know why they picked that voice, but this reminds me of this like little man in the phone saying, BlindShell update starting or something like that. And then he goes through it and he will tell you how far along the update is, but it's an awful voice. It's kind of creepy. Anyway, so then it will update your the phone. It'll turn off the phone, and then it'll restart the phone. And so then you have your update. If you don't have that notification, you can just go down to settings, hit OK, go down to system update, hit OK. It'll say check for updates, hit OK. And it'll either say you have the latest update, or it'll say that an update is available. If an update's available, hit OK, and then the same thing. You can download it, and then it will install it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for going through that. So that is how you go about as far as a system update, how to actually take advantage of that. So I want to, let me go ahead. I'm going to pull up the list here from my side, and we can talk about some of those bug fixes. Diane, do you have them in front of you, or do you want to talk about them specifically?
Yeah, so the biggest, what I think one of the biggest ones is the navigation keys jumping, and that's been fixed, because that was very annoying, because you would be in something and then all of a sudden you're at the end of the page, which is not what you wanted. So I am so glad that that was fixed. There's also a fix for if keys are sticking. There's a fix for the 369 # keys. So if you were having an issue with that, that should be resolved.
Also, the network, no network message while using voice control dictation, that's also been fixed.
Yeah, so that's been fixed. There's also now, if you are typing in a text box and you've selected, say, like the huge font, now when you're typing, that will show up in the huge font. If that's something that would help you.
Pronunciation of some letters.
Yeah, pronunciation of some letters
New menu
has been fixed.
Yep, new
Go ahead,
menu
I'm
for
sorry.
special characters.
Yeah, so that's a big thing too, because now if you're in a text box and you just, tap the pound button, that will cycle through your all caps, one cap, all lowercase and numbers. But if you hold the pound button down, you'll get two options. One is special characters. I'm sorry, I think it's called special symbols. And then the second one will be emojis. So, and if anybody hasn't explored the emojis yet, that's a fun thing, because there's like, I don't know, 2,000 emojis or 1,500, something like that, that you could put into your emails and texts. But anyway, so now the special characters, you would hit OK on that, and then you can actually use the navigation buttons to cycle through, and then the OK to select. So if you don't like pressing the 11 times to get to @ now you can just use your navigation bars and hit OK. So there, I think it was 30 punctuation and symbols in there. So it's nice. It's just another way to get to all those symbols.
Fantastic. So I think, and there was other minor updates, like, there were some maps that were updated with some third-party apps. So there, again, some other minor, updates as well that hopefully will all lead to positive and, just a continued greater experience. And I just want to go back to, the developers. When we get, reports of issues and bugs, we take everything very seriously. And so it just, everything will ultimately be addressed. Some things take a little longer, and I just, rest assured there is a phenomenal team behind the scenes addressing everything, and we just want it to be the greatest experience for everyone out there. So without Diane, if you have anything else to talk about before I start opening it up to the participants, anything else that you want to talk about or share with everyone?
No, we can see what's on everybody's mind.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go straight to Cheryl. Cheryl, you're going to be our first participant.
There she is.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes.
We hear you loud and clear. Welcome, Cheryl.
Yeah, okay, I have a couple things here. I really like the update. I like the fact that it's not jumping all over the place. That's a good thing. And the keyboard thing that I had a problem with last time, well, it was the dongle.
Oh, good.
And
okay.
Alexa, when it's there's a bug, because what happens is I like my smart speakers, using Alexa on my smart speakers better than on the phone, because I have a game. My favorite game is Night Manager, and I play it with on my smart speakers when I'm at home. But then when I tried playing it on my phone, there would be a lot of, like, I'd get told, well, your diamond donkey gave you diamonds, and so many people fought with you. But then what happens is, if I say something, then the phone just says tap or say Alexa. Now, can we get rid of that, or what's happening with this? I think that's a bug, because the smart speakers don't don't do that, but the phone does. It's always tapper, say Alexa, tapper, and then the game doesn't hear me, doesn't understand what I'm saying.
Okay, so that is something that I don't know if Michael's on the phone, but
Yeah, I'm looking
that-
for Michael. Michael was here, and it looks like
Michael
he-
is doing a he's at the Washington ACB convention.
oh, right now.
So he
Okay.
may be busy working, but that's something that we will try to replicate and see. So what's the game called, Cheryl?
It's called Night Manager, like night with a K and
Oh, okay.
manager. So it's
Okay.
called Night Manager.
Okay. Yeah, I'll play around with that and see what if I can figure anything out. And then I'll also give that assignment to Michael as well to see what his thoughts are on that.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Cheryl.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, I'm gonna.
Oh
go
no,
to-
I wanted to discuss something with Cheryl. So
Yep.
Cheryl
You
is
want me to
able
bring her-
to use.
You want me to bring her back?
Yeah.
Cheryl, you're back.
Hey Cheryl, do you want to tell everyone what kind of keyboard you're using?
I can't remember the name of, well, it's a wireless keyboard, it's regular sized. So that's what it is. It's regular sized, it's wireless, and I use and there's a dongle to hook it up with. But the thing is that there was something wrong with the adapter that fit into the phone, because it needs the adapter for the dongle to fit in. So
Okay.
that's what, I know there was a keyboard you recommended, but are the keys in the smaller, is the keyboard smaller? So the keys are in a smaller.
It's slightly smaller than a standard size keyboard. But what I wanted to yours is that I was reaching for mine. Because mine plugs in with a USB-C port, but you are actually able to get not a Bluetooth keyboard, but a wireless keyboard to work. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, but it worked for a while, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
But that was because of your dongle?
Yeah, because the adapter that the dongle it had to use an adapter for the phone. And
Mhm.
and the thing is that it had to plug into this adapter, and the adapter somehow broke or something.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
That's another option. So yeah, I really like that you figured that out. Okay, so
Okay,
we
awesome.
can move on. Yeah, thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you,
Okay.
Cheryl. Take care. All right, so I want to go to a question here that was posted in the Q&A from Krista. And the question is as follows: is there a list of the shortcuts for each button or key? And is there a key press that turns the screen reader on and off?
No, the screen reader is always on. And is there a list for what the buttons do? I don't think so, but that's something that we could make.
Yep, fantastic question.
Mhm.
So list of buttons, right? As far as, is that in the manual?
Yeah, I was gonna say it may be in the manual, but I don't think it is, to tell you the truth.
Okay, so I think it's something that we can work on, Diane.
Yep.
Figure that out. Okay.
Yep.
So we will work on that. Great question, Krista. Thank you very much for posing that. We will work on a list of shortcuts for each button or key, and we will put that together and we can send it out, and we'll add it to the website as well.
Yeah, so just so I'm sure what the question is, are you looking for a description of all the buttons?
Well, if Krista can answer that, or put it just, you know, type that into the Q&A. We can come back to that and go from there. Let me go ahead and bring on a caller. Calling the last 4 digits of this caller is calling from 8089. And you can unmute yourself. Hello.
Hi, this is Joni Leonard, and
Welcome.
oh, thank you, Bari. Hi, Diane and Bari, both
Hi,
of you.
hi.
My question is, I put the SD card in, it's working, but I don't know how to get to information that I sort of try to put on it. How do you read what's there? Because I've tried to transfer some stuff onto it, but I don't know whether it's there or not. How do I get to the information on that little SD card?
So you need to go into the music player. So you would go into applications, and then you would go into media, and then go down to music player. And when you open that, it should give you the list of what's in your card.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I did something, and I get this strange sound, this very annoying little sound on my BlindShell. And I don't know what I did, but I want to get rid of it.
So when does it happen?
It can happen pretty often, and then like this morning, it hasn't happened at all. Oh no, it did just once, I think.
Is it your notifications?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to be able to know how to get rid of it. We don't know really what it is or where it's coming from. My guess is that it's a notification coming in. So when it happens the next time, press the little button that is directly below the screen on the left-hand side, the one above the green OK button, and see if it says if you have any notifications, because that'll tell us if that's what it is.
Okay, how
And
do I
then
get rid of it?
So once you acknowledge that it's a notification, say it says, you know, you have 3 notifications, and then you'd hit the OK button and it'll say 3 notifications, 1 of 6. Then you hit the OK again, and then you can go through your notifications. And if it looks like, I've been getting a lot of spam notifications. So you could just scroll to delete all and then hit the OK, and they'll be gone. So you can turn off the notification button, the sounds if you want, or you could change the sound so it's not as annoying to you, and all that could be done in settings.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Diane.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
And I love the new class that you have on Mondays.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thank you. And you know, I just want to say, thank you, Journey. I just want to say, you know, that was born out of a lot of suggestions and feedback that we were receiving from the whole, you know, overall BlindShell community. You know, for those of you that reach out to us and share feedback. So we really appreciate it. And you know, the more feedback that we get, the more insight that we have, the greater we're able to expand and make just everything, you know, better and better. So that is what our goal is. Okay, so I'm going to bring on our next caller, Kerry. Kerry, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Welcome, Kerry.
Hello. I was having trouble figuring out how to unmute, but I've found it when you, now I know that when you are starting to, let me talk that I can unmute that way. So yeah, I was just having trouble figuring that out. But what I wanted to say is, I know there's a guitar tuner app. I downloaded it even though I haven't got a guitar, but I do have a ukulele. So I'm wondering, Diane, if you could maybe develop a ukulele tuner for the BlindShell, please.
That's interesting. Yeah, okay. So, Kerry, you are pretty new to the group. You're the one from New Zealand, correct?
Yes, I'm from New Zealand, and not that many people in New Zealand have BlindShells.
Are you in New Zealand right now?
Yes, I live here.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, she lives there. Yep.
Oh wow, it's so it's Friday. Is it Friday morning already for you?
Yeah, it's Friday morning, and so this talking point started at 6 a.m.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, we appreciate the commitment.
Yeah.
I have to. Do you have a Starbucks nearby you?
Not. I'm not sure if we've got one in town. I don't think we have.
All right.
I live in a small town called Whangarei.
Okay. So I was going to say I have to get you some coffee so you for the early wake up call.
But I love my BlindShell. It's been quite a learning curve because I've got an iPhone, so with having two totally different phones, but it's really neat. It's just so much easier. And thank you, Diane, for your patience with all my questions that were coming through.
That's no problem. So while I have you on the phone, I'm not really sure what you're asking about that website. Did you figure it out, or do you still have a question on that?
I still need help with it. It's because you see, I got my BlindShell through government funding so that I could, because I have this thing called individualized funding, and people, support workers, I have to log their timesheets, and they have portals on their website, and I can't access them on the BlindShell, and it's not that easy on my iPhone or BrowSense 6 either. So I'm wanting to try and find a way to do it on the iPhone, but just haven't been successful in accessing the timesheets from my portal. So I'm needing to go to where my portal login is. And the link I sent you was to my portal. And I'm just needing help with that. I managed to get into my portal, but couldn't access where the timesheets were and how to create a timesheet. So that's actually what I'm needing help with, please.
Okay, I'll take a peek at that and see what I can figure out.
Oh, thank you, Diane. That would be great. Now, I love my BlindShell, so I really, really am glad I got it.
So do you know of anybody else in New Zealand who has one?
Besides Jonathan Mosen.
I don't know if there is. I don't know who they are. My friend David Allen is going to get one.
Okay, nice. So how did you find out about it? You just did some research?
They had the BlindShell one at the equipment services shop in New Zealand, but my friend in Auckland didn't like it much. It didn't work that well. And I was a bit annoyed because equipment services decided not to get the BlindShell too. So we had to order it from overseas, but it only took 2 weeks to get here. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
great. Then you have, go ahead, Bari.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, so you have a program over there that purchases the BlindShells for people?
No, we don't. So I'm kind of floundering and just getting help from you people overseas, really.
Okay. But but the agency does have BlindShell Classics, just not the Classic 2.
Yeah, I don't even know if they have #1 anymore. But I'm just so glad that my 2 was funded, so I didn't have to pay for it myself. That's why I want to be honest and try and use it for these timesheets, but I just can't do it.
Okay.
That's great. Okay. Well, Kerry, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. The commitment to get up so early. If you find out there's a Starbucks nearby, I would love to send you a little gift for at Starbucks. So
thank you very much. I'll find out.
Let us know. Let us know. Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend.
Yeah.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to we're going to jump to a question from John. Is like, might we have a key learn mode where you press a key to hear what it does? Great question. I think
Yeah, that is awesome. That's a great question.
That is great. So thank you so much. We're gonna go to it's like.
I just want to
sure.
add something to that,
Sure.
when you're on a web page, if you hit the pound button, you may have to hold it down. I'm not sure if it's just a hit or a hold down. That
Right.
will give you, I think it's 8 or 9 buttons, and if you cycle through those, it'll tell you what those buttons do. Like, I know if you're on a web page, number 8 will continuously read that web page, but there's 8 or 9 different buttons. So that's one example of that, but I do agree that a button that tells you what all the buttons are would be a great addition.
Yep. So just go, Chris. Sorry that you missed. When we address your question. So we're going to work on creating a list of shortcuts for each button and keys, so it's a little more self-explanatory. I'm sure, and I'm pretty certain that there is quite a bit in the manual, but we're going to define it even further, and we'll send out a list once it's completed, and we'll also get that posted on our website. So hopefully that will assist you and the individual that you are working with. Okay, let's go ahead and jump to a caller ending in the last 4 digits, 8145. Welcome.
This is Karen, just to show you what a small world we live in. Kerry mentioned David Allen, and I went to school with him, and I used to be pen pals with his wife. So,
oh my goodness.
I'm really enjoying the Facebook Messenger feature on the BlindShell. And my question is, could you explain a little more about the new features with the email? Like, I don't understand, how can you, it says you can log in with another address and that type of thing. Is that from a computer or on the phone?
That's on the phone. So let me.
As far as where the phone can now handle multiple email accounts, is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let me go into it. So when you open it up, so you go to applications and you go to communications and then you go to email and you open it, and then it'll say 1 of 14. So if you go to settings, 14 of 14, and then you can go to accounts list, and then it will read your email that's already in there. And then if you use your navigation bar down, you can go to new account and hit on that. And then you can add a second email account.
Okay. And I still have one email that will not download or anything, so I can delete it.
Yeah, so you can go in. Yeah, you can go in and you can remove that one.
How do you? Is there a way to do that on the phone, or?
Yeah, so if you open up your email and it'll say, if it's not working right, it'll give you 3 choices: try again, edit, or delete. So just go down to delete it.
Is that in settings too, or?
No, so the email that you have on your BlindShell right now, is that the one that's not working?
Yeah, there's one email from the NFB of Maryland. It's an agenda for their convention.
Sorry.
And
it's an actual
I cannot get rid of that email.
You can't delete that email?
It won't even open. It won't do anything.
Is it just in your inbox?
Yes.
So when you open the inbox and you go down to that email and you hit the OK button, it doesn't give you the choice to reply, forward, all that stuff.
No, it won't even download it, so I can do anything with it. I'd like to get rid of it, but
Yeah,
I even
that's a good
called
question.
IRA, but for some reason they told me that too many people had tried to log into my account and they wouldn't let them in, which nobody had tried to log in but me, but said try again later.
Log into your IRA account?
No, I tried to get IRA to go into my email and delete that one for me. And Google wouldn't let them do it that particular day.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That may be something that unfortunately you might have to have a sighted person go in and delete it, because I don't know why it wouldn't load up and let you delete it.
Well, I might try IRA again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The only worry I have about the BlindShell is that they're getting so many things, I'm going to run out of space to download them.
Yeah, so Bari, that's something you could put on the list, I've heard that from other people as well.
As far as memory, space?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about, as we add more features and more things to get, are we going to have room for them?
Yep. And that's part of the reason why the SD card slot is there. And that could definitely, hold quite a bit. But, I think all these things are great questions. And, I think, like with any phone or any computer, right, we're constantly adding and adding and adding. And there are, after a period of time, right, we have to go out and clean up, and get rid of unused, files or programs and stuff like that. So I think that's always a first step if you are running low on space. But all these things will be addressed, for the future. So, but we appreciate the concern.
The only thing you can put on the SD card is your backup, is your contacts. I mean, I don't use it for music or reading or any of that, but you can't really put anything else from the phone to store on there out of the way, can you?
You should be able to put files on there and images.
I don't do any of that either. I should be okay.
If you have notes. Yeah, you should be okay. We really haven't had anybody run into that issue. Just, excuse me, we've had people ask about the issue, like what if, in a year from now, blah, blah, blah. But I haven't come across anybody who's actually run out of space.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna go. By the way, I've had Michael. You are joined as a panelist. Our good friend Michael. We will call you as another co-host here, Michael Babcock, and appreciate you joining us today as always. Let me go ahead and just go back to some of the questions. Michael, I know that you wanted to chime in. Maybe you want to verbally go ahead and answer that.
Sure, Barry, I will do that. Coming to you live from Seattle. Nice. Always love traveling. So I wanted to share a quick tip also for the previous caller. Well, three things. A quick tip is if you need to quickly enter a number, you can simply press and hold the number. Instead of pressing the number 2 4 times to get the number 2, simply press and hold the number 2, and that will insert that number for you if it's needed. I was helping someone with entering her password and she needed numbers, and we found that that was a lot faster than pressing the numbers multiple times. For the previous caller, remember, you don't always, just because something is available doesn't mean you have to install it on the BlindShell, so that can help you with saving on space. And Barry, a good feature request / idea would be if someone has a micro SD card in their phone, it could help with alleviating storage issues if the BlindShell could install apps to the SD card. So just a suggestion.
Yeah, that's I'm taking notes.
Yeah, and Michael, we have another assignment for you.
Okay, did you get my text message earlier?
I did, yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Michael, you want to go also, the question here, and Diane, either one of you can answer this. It says, if the screen reader isn't speaking, how can you turn it back on?
you want to take that, Diane, or do you want me to?
You can take it.
Okay, so if the screen reader isn't speaking, unfortunately, you're going to have to remember at this time the keystrokes to be able to go and turn the speech back on. And you might hear my phone in the background because I'm going through it so I can figure out what that procedure is, because I have not memorized it. So what you do is you go, what I tell people is press your down button, and then that you'll feel a brief vibration. And then you press number 5, which will take you to settings, and then press OK. Press OK again, and that'll take you into sounds, and then press number 4, which will take you to voice output. And then once you're in there, you can choose option number 7, which is voice output muting. And if you want voice output to be on, you press option number 1 and then OK, and that should turn your voice output back on. However, one thing that we ran into with another BlindShell user the other day is she had connected her Bluetooth device and then forgot that she had connected Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah.
So her phone was vibrating and she couldn't hear anything. So if that's the case, you can press the top left button, which is your notifications button, choose option number 4, which is Bluetooth, and then press OK, and then press OK again, and that'll turn off Bluetooth as well.
Okay, so then Michael just did remind me of something, because that was an earlier question. If you could turn, I think somebody asked if you could turn either the screen reader on or off, or the voice on or off. And I forgot that, yes, you can turn it completely off, which the example I always give is if somebody really likes the simplicity of the phone and they're sighted and they don't want to hear the voice talking, then they can permanently turn off the speech, so it just becomes a standard cell phone for somebody who doesn't need the voice. But yeah, so if you turn that off and you can't see, you're going to have to do exactly what Michael said. Remember the sequence on how to turn it back on.
Awesome. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring on our next caller. We are going to bring on Belle. Belle has nope, we're not. We are going to go to caller ending in 8061. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi there. My name is Connie. I do not have a BlindShell, but I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 questions, and it is a small world. Hello, Joni Leonard. She and I go way back.
Wow. This is the place.
And,
we're all about communication. So if you're not
This
connected
is like
to BlindShell, you're connected on Talking
yeah.
Points.
Yeah, this is like BlindShell Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, I have 2 questions. One is, do you ever think about installing Uber or Lyft app on BlindShell? And
Do we ever
also,
think about
do you
it? Go
ever
ahead.
plan? Do you ever
Go ahead.
plan on being on Verizon?
I'm going to let Bari take both of those.
Thank you. So great questions. We think about Uber and Lyft every single day, probably multiple times a day. And all I can say right now is that we are in constant communication with the rideshare apps. I'll leave it like that. So there should be positive news on the horizon in the near future regarding that. And then the second question regarding Verizon is that we are in communication with Verizon. That is something that's going to be a little bit more complicated because Verizon works on a different type of network. I believe
different system.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's something that is not an immediate, solution. So I don't, anticipate that happening so fast. But we're in talks with Verizon, and we are. So yes.
Okay.
So one thing you could do though is if you use Ira on the BlindShell, they can request the Lyft for you. So that's kind of a workaround for right now.
I don't have a BlindShell.
Okay. Yep. So if you get one, then that would
Yeah,
be a way
and-
to do it.
Yeah, that would be. Okay. All right. Okay, well, thanks a lot. This is very interesting. This is the first time I've been able to get to you. There's things that I'm really supposed to be working. That's why I'm using the phone and not the computer.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
computer, I have the computer on for work, and I don't want to be over here. So,
Well, thank you
all
for
right. Thanks a
calling.
lot.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
No problem. Thank you.
So Michael, are you there?
He's on mute right now. Maybe he's with
Okay.
someone over there.
He might be working with somebody. Okay, go ahead. We can move on.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. We are going to go to Terry. Terry, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We hear
Hi,
you now.
Terry.
Okay, I thought you were calling me before when the other Terry was up. That was funny.
Ah,
I started talking and, okay, first, what was I gonna say now? Okay, first of all, I like the idea about the Uber and Lyft. I was gonna ask you about that. And also Maryland Relay, they finally got hold of me the same day I wrote you all
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
phone number. And, okay, if we're on the ACB, daily listing, do we still have to sign up through you, or will we get the, on Zoom link for, the Monday, sessions?
that's a great question. So if you're already getting the ACB community weekly schedule, then you are good to go.
Great, okay.
Yep.
That
You are
was
good
my
to
big
go.
question, because I get it, daily and the weekly.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you're good.
I can't wait. I just, I gotta do all the paperwork so I can get our, my boyfriend and I each a BlindShell. I can't wait.
Nice. So that worked out by calling them?
Yeah, I just we gotta download the paperwork and take it to the doctor next week. So, thank you.
Oh, great.
And I am back. I just had to, press Alt Tab so many times to figure out where I was.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. So we're going to take one more caller, and we're going to go to the caller ending in 5292.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
before you came on,
Go ahead.
You're cutting out, Diane. We can't hear you.
Oh, Michael, you're there. So we lost Diane.
Yep,
Is that
I am.
correct? All
I am
right.
still
Maybe-
here, but we
Okay.
lost Diane. I think she might be back.
Are you back?
can you hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah.
Now we hear you.
Can you hear me?
We hear you now.
Can you still hear me?
We still hear you.
Okay. You guys did that on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna go to one last caller, ending in 5292. And you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, this is Allison from Oklahoma.
Hi, welcome,
Hi,
Allison.
Allison.
Hi. And I don't think I have a question, but I did want to tell you that I am so pleased that you fixed the jumping issue, because that was driving me crazy.
Me too.
One thing that Michael told me, and a lot of times when I sent a message to someone and it said, if you're satisfied with the message, press 1, you need to push the bottom of the 1, because otherwise it will say, turn on speaker, turn on mic, or whatever it says, which wasn't what I wanted. So I just thought I would throw that out for anybody who's had that problem.
Can you repeat that?
Okay.
Do you want to repeat it, Allison?
Yeah,
or do you
go
want me
ahead,
to share with
Michael.
them what I told you? Yeah, so
Yeah.
what happens sometimes, and I don't think people realize it, but if you are prompted to press number 1 to confirm your message, or if you're on a phone call and you have to press number 1, and all of a sudden your phone says turn on speakerphone, then what's probably happening is sometimes if your finger is a little high on the number 1, you can accidentally press the number 1 and the OK together, and that triggers the in-call menu. So if that's happening to you, what I told Allison to do is put her finger lower down on the number 1 and push towards the bottom of the number 1, and that seems to be working for her. Is that correct, Allison?
That's right. Yep.
Great.
But I love the phone.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Michael,
Yes.
so before you came on, Cheryl was asking a question, and I volunteered you and me to see if we could replicate this for her. So she plays a game called Night Manager on her Alexa. And when she plays it on the phone, it's not working the same because it keeps saying type or Alexa. So I said we would try to replicate by playing that game.
Sounds like a plan. I am familiar with Night Manager, and I
Oh,
mean,
you are? Okay, good.
who's going to complain about getting told to go play a game? So I will
Yeah.
play that, and and she can follow up with you or me, and we can let her know what we find out. But I think I know
Okay.
the issue, but I don't want to assume, so we'll try it out.
Okay, great. Thank you. Do we still have Barry?
I was just thinking the same thing.
I'm talking and I was on mute, you know. I'm here. There's one last question I wanted to address. Someone's asking, and I don't know if I know there are a whole, host of videos out there and audio files, but this person asking, and maybe Michael, you could, if you come across this, if there is a video or audio file, how to navigate the web on the BlindShell.
Can I give a shameless plug for my YouTube channel? Because I'm
Absolutely.
working on that, and it'll be up on Sunday. Demasi and I are working on it. If you go to payown, PAYOWN.live, that's PAYOWN.live, it'll take you right to my YouTube channel, and we are working on a web browsing video because web browsing is very efficient if you know what you're doing, but it can be complicated too. So hopefully that'll help people, and that should be out Sunday.
Awesome. Krista, hope you got that. And it's okay, perfect. Very, very good. All right. Well, I want to first of all thank you, Michael, for always being here by our side. We appreciate your support and your knowledge that you bring to this platform. I wanted to thank everyone for joining us for another successful Talking Points. We look forward to seeing everyone in 2 weeks. And as a reminder, Talking Points will be uploaded to our YouTube channel and onto our website, BlindShellUSA.com. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at info@BlindShellUSA.com. For technical support, you can reach out to support@BlindShellUSA.com. And want to thank everyone for their continued support and their involvement and enthusiasm for the BlindShell platform. Great stuff to come, and wishing everyone a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, or weekend already, wherever you may be.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you. So long.